with the government. This is no way boycotting,
Following only
not
the
following
constitutional
rules,
path.
not following rules, not going with the rulers, etc. Fight for struggle, but the freedom struggle, but this is not the way. So he disagreed with Gandhi on that. He was also very much against Gandhian methods when Gandhi was using religious expressions, symbolisms, because he said, "What is this? Why religion?" Because he was not a believer at all. So he found use of religion as something awful in public life. He was against the Khilafat movement. He said, why should Muslims stand up here in India? What do they gain out of it? We are not concerned with Turkey or with Khilafat. Khilafat has no meaning for us. He stayed away with that. So that is the Jinnah's past, which Ishtiaq Ahmed in his latest book has brought out well, which I reviewed also for some paper. And beautifully done. And then later on...
So my point is also the same, that we should not see history
Yeah.
as black and white.
Like I see Savarkar in the same category. You know, when people say Savarkar was a great revolutionary and all that and celebrate him today, if you are doing that, you are celebrating only part of Savarkar. That is the earlier part of Savarkar. I don't disagree with that. Bhagat Singh referred to him in one of his articles, the 1857 book by Savarkar, which lots of right-wing people quote, that Bhagat Singh read it. Bhagat Singh read so many things.
Even Marx.
Yeah. Yes. So Bhagat Singh read so much.
Trotsky, Bakunin.
Yeah. So, and that 1857 book was a good work which he did, which was not the same which he did in 1922-23 Hindutva. So he was also an atheist. He also didn't believe in so many things which the Sanatan Hinduism believes. He mocked many Hindu practices, but remained a communal symbol. Similarly, Jinnah remained a communal symbol till the end, despite his secular past. So the point is, there are phases in public life, and it's not just one. It can be, you can evolve through a period of time, going from one stage to another. So celebrating just one part of it is not enough. You have to look at him holistically, and what is the impact of the man on the society he has left behind. Jinnah is not known today as a secular leader. I cannot call him an ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity, because what Jinnah did later on destroyed my country. So I don't believe what Sarojini Naidu said in early 20th century. It may be true in those times.
So you will put that statement in that context?
Yeah. In that context is fine. But today, I cannot hold him.
Sir, many of our friends might be watching this discussion. So I am asking that if they want to continue doing some further research on Bhagat Singh, are there any areas which you would like to suggest where they can do further research as far as Bhagat Singh's and...
Bhagat Singh, you see, Bhagat Singh is a character who can be studied from different perspectives. My issue is, Bhagat Singh is not one of those who lived for 50 years, or who had a 50 years, 60 years of public life, who had huge diversity in his lifespan. He lived a short life. He had 6-7 years of active political life. Now that limitation, because the span was so short, it doesn't leave us with huge scope. You can do the same thing in different ways. Literature is available now. Everything is like when I did my work, my PhD, that was in 1981-82. At that time, many things were not even available. Many books were not available. Many texts were not available. So today, almost everything which is related to Bhagat Singh has come into public space, and researchers can make use of them.
So, thank you very much, friends. We were just talking about Bhagat Singh, his idea, his struggles, his dream, and many controversies surrounding his life, Indian national movement, and also right-wing politics. We have also taken questions about left and right. So, Sayyid Irfan Habib, who is a historian of science and author of Bhagat Singh's book, has talked to us for so long. And on behalf of you, I thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.